And I came back to Australia and I made myself a promise that if I ever got an opportunity like that again, I would get out of my own way. And I didn't have to wait long because 2019 was arguably the best year of my career. I was the most fun, I was the most present, I had a fucking great time. And it started with a magical telephone call. Stand by for a chilling reenactment. Bring. Bringity fuckity bringity bring. Hello? Hey Randy, it's Hollywood. Oh my God, Hollywood's on the phone. Hi Hollywood. Hey Randy, we love what you do. You are funny, and believe us, we know funny. But tell me Randy, why have you never done a reality television program? Ah! Oh, come on, Randy. Reality television's not the shame factory it once was. And what is reality if not a commodity? And what is entertainment if not a competition? Here, listen to me, Hollywood. I am not a shill to be bought and sold like a common Pop-Tart. I say good day to you, Hollywood. We will pay you a wage, cover your airfare, and guarantee you a 1-year working visa. Shut up and kiss me, Hollywood. No. That's exactly how it happened. That, my friends, is how I signed on to be a contestant on NBC's feel-good hit of the summer, Bring the Funny, a reality television program in which comedians were competing for $250,000 US. Spoiler alert! I did not win. I did have a really nice time, though. I met some wonderful people, I told a few jokes, and I made it out of there with my anal virginity largely intact. The only time it got a little bit intense was while we were filming the reality portion of the show. Now, they call the interviews with contestants on these reality shows reality. That's what they call the reality bit, right? All the reality shows have them. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I thought, well, this souffle is never going to rise. I just want to make my kids proud. Kelly is such a slut! All that, right? They shoot it, they edit it, and they turn the contestants into characters. So you at home can invest in the character and give a shit whether or not they win or lose. Now, everybody on the show gets assigned a story producer. The story producer's job is to make the contestant look interesting, like they've got a compelling backstory. And my story producer fucking hated me. Because you've seen my backstory, it's not good television, you know, there's no drama. And she snapped. 3 weeks in, she just snapped. After me giving her smart-ass responses to every delving question, she just went, Randy, where is the heart? Where is the drama? Where is the hook? And I said, there isn't any. I tell jokes for a living and I sleep like a fucking baby. And she snapped in front of the entire crew and grabbed me by the arm and dragged me off set. And everybody went, ooh. She pulled me out onto the back lot. We were shooting at Universal Studios in Burbank, in California, and she shoved me into a golf buggy, because they all drive around in these little golf carts. She got in and started driving, and I was like, where are we going? And she said, shut the fuck up! And I went, oh, I'm being fired. And this icy feeling just settled in my stomach, and I started sweating and I started shaking, and I was like, oh fuck, I blew it. I just smart-assed my way out of another opportunity. I got here, this is it, they're going to kick me off the lot, I'm never going to work in America again, my name's going to be dragged through the mud. Oh my God, look, there's the Jaws ride. We went through 3 security checkpoints and then 1 massive security checkpoint, and we drove out into this giant courtyard, surrounded on all 4 sides with huge concrete walls, with murals of movie stars painted on all the walls. Ingrid Bergman, Marceline Day, Audrey Hepburn, and Val Kilmer for some reason. In the middle of the courtyard, there was an enormous swimming pool, a bar with a bartender, and she looked at me and said, get the fuck out. So I got out and she just drove off. So I started walking towards this swimming pool, where in the middle of the pool there was a huge, fat, bald man with sunglasses floating on an inflatable pink flamingo. And as I got to the edge of the pool, he lowered his sunglasses and said, I hear you're having trouble finding a backstory, young man. And I said, yes, sir, I don't really have any drama to draw from. And he said, well, you are contractually obligated to find some drama, young man, so hop to it. He nodded to the bartender. The bartender pressed a button on the bar, and suddenly 2 doors opened, one at either end of the courtyard. And out of one of them burst Jason Statham, wielding an axe, naked, covered in baby oil. He just looked at me and said, do whatever it fucking takes! Ah! And I went, ah! And I started running towards the other door, and he was gaining on me, and the man in the pool said, don't come back without a little drama. And I leapt through the door, and it slammed shut behind me, and the axe went into the door. And then I was plunged into pitch darkness, and I crawled on my hands and knees for what felt like an eternity through spiders and mud and rats and shit until finally I emerged from underneath the Hollywood sign, blinking in the blazing Californian sun. And I started to panic. I was like, oh my God, I need a backstory. I don't have a backstory. My parents are still alive. I was never molested. I don't support the troops. What am I going to do? And then I noticed that there was like a 5G mobile telephone tower, and I read somewhere that they like kill bees or something. So I was like, oh, maybe that will give me radiation poisoning. That's a good angle. So I started rubbing myself against this tower. And while I was rubbing myself against the tower, I woke up a homeless man who was sleeping at the foot of the tower, and I was like, he's bound to have a communicable disease, right? So I started sucking his dick, right? So while I was bobbing away on this homeless man's rancid cock, he started to tell me a story. He said, you know, I was on season 2 of America's Got Talent. What they don't tell you when you leave is that you're too famous to go back to your job, but not famous enough to be actually famous, so no one will hire you. Faster. You think you're gonna be the person on reality television that everybody loves, but that's not why we watch. We watch for the failures. We look for the flaws. Deciding winners based on a public voting system has given these morons the illusion of power. They don't know how to handle that power, so they take to Twitter and they say awful things, and they ruin the hopes and dreams of people more talented than they will ever be. And I said, you're right, old man. I don't need to change my image to suit the unrealistic expectations of some imaginary audience. I can make it in Hollywood on my own terms. So I turned around and I ran all the way back to the studio, and I got there just as they called my name to go out on stage, and I went out there and I smashed it. 3.5 minutes of bulletproof comedy gold, and the crowd went wild. And then I realized I was still in my hotel room, and there was definitely weed in that brownie.